the Iranian regime manipulates the people like this, and it says, you know what human rights wants? They say, get rid of this death sentence or so. And this is something that people will find it very outrageous, because it's just came in that some countries want you to just leave this out.
Right.
And I said, no, this is all wrong. And just the door is closed. You know what they say? They say that, for example, women has to have the same rights as everyone else. And of course, you have a male community, it's a transgender society, they don't happy with it. They still would like to stick with rights that they got from different connections.
So it's you're saying it's not an organic human rights movement, it's something imposed from outside that really is not so appealing as described by the regime. The regime would say, well, the West wants us to do away with the death sentence, and the West insists that women have all rights and access, and that would be not acceptable to the culture.
It is not. The thing is we're talking about the regime, the Islamic Republic in Iran, Islamic regime, which is acting very wise and intelligent, although lots of people want to undermine them, but it's not the case. They are doing things in a very, very flexible way. It's not like the communist countries that they were just straight and stick on rules. They're doing really, that is why negotiations with them are very hard, because you're not dealing with the transparent, accountable counterparts. They're just getting through this whole people. And then after some time, you get lost whom you were talking to, who's making the decision, and you're kind of lost over there, the whole things. And with this human rights case is the same. For example, Amnesty International annual reports, they condemn America because of the Guantanamo Bay in Cuba and human rights and everything. And there's a 1 hour broadcasting in whole radio and television about Amnesty International. But if there's something in Amnesty International about Iran, it's censored.
Gets no airtime.
Everywhere.
Is that the sort of thing you'd like to see broadcast in Iran? What are the topics and what are the discussions that you'd like to see?
There are lots of things I would like to see. How there are certain leads that shows the Islamic system misuses the natural resources and the interests of the Iranian people and put it in a way that really they don't like. The Iranian generation, so as far I'm dealing with, they don't like to give free money to the Lebanon and Palestine, and to this Hezbollah, and they don't want to give free money and free oil to Syria, but it's one of these mandates that the government is doing that. So the story is not allowed to be covered inside Iran. They don't allow for you to touch this thing. If you touch that, you'll not be there. Right. So I would like to focus on these things. What they do, what they are doing with this oil, what do they do with this money? Right. What are these deals that they are making outside? On economy, it's very important. And the movements, they are doing lots of things inside Iran. That story never get a chance to come out. And some of the stories that really people would get lost with the definition that the government gives them with the state television and radio. For example, last year when this government, Ahmadinejad government, presented the bill of budget to the government, to the parliament, and I wanted to see or write some critique on this bill because it has too many weak points that somebody needed to
examine,
to talk, just to point at it. Right. What is it? What does it mean? How it's going to affect everything? But no one was allowed to do that. Only certain critique you would see around. Here, not allowed, not indeed. And it's not a big thing. You just have to put the bill here and just talk about it. This is not good because of this, because of it. And the people will know, will find out what this is government's up to. At the moment, it's funny. It's like the case in Venezuela when Chavez ordered to close down that private television. And there were just riot of the people.
So important though that exists what you're saying. It's just an examination, a sort of analysis of the budget would be so revealing to the public, but too revealing, according to the government, right?
Yeah.
It would not.
They don't like it. The thing is, I'll give an example. Even on this, the nuclear case that we are dealing with this right now, when I was writing on it, they would told me certain lines that I don't have to cross. Don't point to acquiring a nuclear weapon. Never ever. Don't bring the name of the Security Council of the United Nations. These are the certain red lines that I never could cross any time.
Mm.
But then after that, I had my readers. They were emailing, calling me, and says, "We know something's going on. What is it? What is it?" And I said, "Okay, these are the main questions that the Western countries have. These are what Iran is doing, and these are the main areas that they have been discovered and investigated. But people inside Iran still don't get it. What is this whole nuclear program?
That's
They
very
don't know."
interesting. Because the Western media loves to quote polls that indicate that the Iranians are very much in support of the nuclear weapon, of the nuclear program.
Nuclear bomb. I mean, just put it
Nuclear
direct.
bomb.
They will say, I mean, I'm sure that if you ask anyone, I mean, especially Iranians, do you like acquiring nuclear weapon? They say, yeah, why not? It makes us powerful, it makes us good. And they don't think that who is using that
Right.
program. This is a national thing.
Right.
Yeah, we have to be over all the countries in the region.
Right.
So
Right.
they don't see the consequences.
Right.
I mean, they don't see. Oh, okay. Do you know who might going to
Who
use
might
that?
push the button?
Yes, you're not. Certainly, you're not.
Yes,
and
exactly.
you're not pointing that. You're not pushing the button. Do you
Right.
know who's going to use that? And they might think after that. Say, yeah. I mean, why these people?
How effective or how reflective of public opinion do you think the polls that you see in the West are when it comes to domestic issues inside Iran?
There are some certain areas that I think you cannot make a comparison on this thing. One of them are the polls.
Yeah.
Because what the medias are doing in Western countries on the polls, they just get straight answer, put it over there, make an estimation, it comes out.
Mhm.
But in Eastern countries, especially, it takes half an hour to find out what the real intention of the person you are asking is.
Right.
So they don't give you an answer. They will examine you what answer you would like to get.
Right.
And they give you the right answer and you're gone.
Right.
But you don't get
Very
the real
interesting.
intention, what
Yeah.
is inside. I mean, I'll give you a pretty good example. We have an intermediate statistics here at the RFE because it's very hard for them to get
Data.
the data inside Iran and what's happening. So another company in some other way calls inside Iran and asks the people, what do you think about the radio, for example?
Mhm.
And it's several different questions. Pick this. You're in Iran, the Islamic system, intelligence authorities, tapping the phones and everything.
Yeah.
Someone calls and say, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you from where I'm calling, but I have a couple of questions. I say, okay, go ahead. Say, do you pray? And I would say yes.
Mhm.
Even me, I would say yes, I do pray whole day. Do you go to mosque? Yes, every day. Do you join do you participate in protests in the street? Yes, I do. And why? Because I think this is the certain rights of some people somewhere that I have to go opposed to that. Do you like this Islamic system that's working? Yeah, they're good. They're providing. You don't know who's on the other the phone. So that is statistics.